Welcome everyone, this is Kerjims channel. Now we are back to our episodes of two similar champions and comparison featured by Wild League of Legends versus the Mobile Legend Bang Bang. But before that, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so you will be notified to our next episode video. Let's do this!
Rumble is a DC melee caster, utilizing a unique resource system called Heat. All of Rumble's basic abilities cost 20 Heat, which cools back down to 0 after not using any abilities for a short time. Rumble's passive is Junkyard Titan. If Rumble hits 100 Heat, he overheats, which gives him significant bonus damage on his basic attack, but silences him until he cools back down to 0. Additionally, while Rumble stays 50 Heat and above, he enters the Danger Zone, which makes each of his non-ultimate abilities stronger. Rumble's first ability is Flame Spitter. Rumble burns enemies in a cone in front of him for 3 seconds. While in the Danger Zone, Flame Spitter deals bonus damage. Second is Scrap Shield. Rumble shields himself from damage for a short time and gains a temporary movement speed boost. While in the Danger Zone, the shield and movement haste are stronger. With Electro Harpoon, Rumble shoots out a skill shot nuke that damages and slows the first enemy it hits. Rumble then has a few seconds to cast the ability a second time for free, even if he overheats. The slows from these nukes stack, allowing you to hinder 2 opponents or severely slow 1. The Danger Zone bonus for Electro Harpoon increases the damage and slow. Rumble's ultimate is the Equalizer. Rumble fires off a chain of missiles, damaging enemies in a line and leaving a trail of fire in its wake that damages and slows enemies standing on top of it. The Equalizer uses a new targeting type. Activate the ability, click and hold down your left mouse button on the origin point, then move your mouse and release when you're happy with how you're aiming the skill. You can cancel targeting by right-clicking. It doesn't really matter which direction you send the missiles, just be sure you paint the right area. For lack of a better term, Rumble should be a bully in lane. I get into a position where I can chase Misfortune. I open the Flame Spitter and Scrap Shield, leading into Electro Harpoon when I get in range. After she flashes, I chase this ghost and another Flame Spitter cast. Be acutely aware of your heat gauge. I push on a Misfortune right at 75 heat with Flame Spitter. I wait in the brush for 75 heat again, pushing myself over with Electro Harpoon and Flame Spitter, finishing her off with the bonus damage from Junkyard Titan. Xin Zhao ganks me from the jungle. I run while waiting for overheating to end. Immediately, I create some distance with Scrap Shield, but knowing that I have to fight, I aim the Equalizer such that he burns whether he chases me or runs. I wait until I create a little more distance before shooting an Electro Harpoon. Now there's almost no chance for him, so I chase him down with Flame Spitter for the kill. You always want to stay above 50 heat since your abilities are more powerful that way. Before even getting a breather, Alistair comes for me. Remaining in the Danger Zone, I shield myself and attempt to slow him with Electro Harpoon. I wait for my heat to reach 75 again, tossing out Electro Harpoon while still allowing me to cast Scrap Shield. Once Alistair commits to the turret, I attack him with the Junkyard Titan bonus damage. His trample takes me to 1 health before he dies. By staying at 50 to 55 heat, you have the ability to use all 3 of your regular skills in the Danger Zone, plus get the Junkyard Titan bonus damage. I close the gap with Misfortune using Scrap Shield. She does a great job dodging the first Electro Harpoon, but as soon as I land the second, I dive her with Flame Spitter and my Junkyard Titan damage, killing her from half health with just 60 ability power in items. I run into Brand and Xin Zhao at the top of the map. Once I know I've been caught, I lay down the Equalizer such that it will hit both my enemies. I bait Xin Zhao to stand in the area of effect as I blow all my cooldowns, causing overheat and killing him quickly. As Brand is now out of mana, I chase him with Scrap Shield and use Flame Spitter to slow him thanks to Riley's Crystal Scepter. I activate all of my abilities once more, picking up the kill on Brand, keeping me alive through Alistair, and overheating me as I run away. Before Alistair picks up the kill, Sona saves me and I walk away alive. Rumble synergizes well with area of effect suits. As we run away from a 3v4 fight, we see Fiddlesticks in his new Fiddle Me Timber skin. As we charge a Snowstorm, I drop the Equalizer along the enemy team, while Sona and Malphite also use their ultimates. 3 enemies melt almost immediately, and we converge onto Alistair as I use Junkyard Titans to drop the remainder of his health. The Equalizer, combined with Riley's Crystal Scepter, puts out tons of crowd control. The enemy Nasus, sporting his new Dread Knight skin, is extremely far, requiring a lot of effort to kill. I drop the Equalizer on top of Nasus while also covering the main inlet into the teamfight. We kill Nasus thanks to Flamespitter and Junkyard Titans before any opponents get into range, which makes the rest of the fight really easy. I get into a teamfight already in progress. I aim the Equalizer to hit most of the enemy team, provoking Xinjiao and Brand almost immediately. I push on attempting more kills. Alistair drops while trying to shield Misfortune. Danger Zone, Scrap Shield, and Flamespitter allow me to chase into her base, before turning to deal with Nasus. I run away from the turret while overheating, coming back with a Scrap Shield and Flamespitter for the kill. I'm going to show Rumble's first few levels in lanes while detailing my moves, masteries, ability orders, and items. I take Magic Penetration marks, Dodge Seals, Magic Resist per level glyphs, and Flat Health Regeneration percentages, allowing me durability and damage at all stages of the game. My masteries are 9-21-0, taking Ignite and Ghost as summoners, although I mastered neither. For skills, I max Flamespitter first and Scrap Shield second, stopping to take a point from Electro Harpoon at level 3. For items, I open with Doran's Shield. I rush Mercury Treads and Riley's Crystal Scepter before getting some durability, with Sunfire Cape and Force of Nature. Finally, I grab Rabbiden's Death Cap and Void Step for more damage.
Hold 2 harpoons. And it's just a poking ability. You can use the last hit minions at a safe range if you wanted to. You could use it to try and poke the enemy champion if you can get it off like that. It slows them a little bit, and it also deals a little bit of damage, okay? So, to kind of recap the 2 that we learned, which deals damage in front of you like this, you can use the last hit minions to maybe poke the champion, which you can use to hit them and slow them, okay? The third ability we're going to learn here is Scrap Shield. As the name says, it's basically a shield. The other thing it does for Rumble is it speeds him up a little bit. So you can see this lift up off the air there, kind of funny, and he kind of flies forward or backwards, depending on which way you're moving. So now that we know these 3 abilities, your basic trading pattern with Rumble will be, especially if you're laning against a melee champion, you'll open and just try and flame spit them. If they run, you want to catch up even faster and have a shield. Okay, so that's one trading pattern. Again, we know that Rumble's a very advanced champion, very mechanically intensive champion, so there's a lot of different ways you can engage. Another way here is we can just kind of close the gap and get a shield, and then start with our Q now, okay? And if they run away, you can kind of chase them down with your E, okay? It's a skill shot, again, see? So you can miss them very easily there if you're not used to playing Rumble, okay? So that's another way you can trade into melee champions. Most melee champ matchups for Rumble are favorable, so if you're playing against a champion who's melee range, it's very easy to win trades and poke and just run away if you want to. Alright, so you have a lot of options in melee matchups. Range matchups are a little bit more difficult for Rumble, and that's when you have to focus on your hit, or maybe hit the champion and to kind of close the gap and speed up and get next to them. Okay? So, we've been talking a lot about trading combos. Let's talk about now which ability you want to max with Rumble. Like this, so I can push them into the turret. And also, it's kind of your bread and butter damage ability, right? Especially when we get into later team fighting with other champions and maybe 2v2s and 2v3s. It's a good area of effect damage ability. So you want to make sure you max this one first. It's also the easiest to land because the harpoon is a skill shot, so it's tough to land. So the harpoon slows them as well, so you can see here I can kite away from them by using the harpoon. So Rumble is very good at either kiting back away from champions if he needs to, or kiting and kind of catching up to them. But remember, because he's a fighter, if you go in, really you're looking to stay in and fight for a long extended trade, okay? So let's try a basic. We're going to use our flame spitter to kind of just face wrecker, face melter, and then we're going to see if we can catch up to that heat management that you have to watch out for with Rumble. The more you play him, the better you'll get at managing it and trying keeping it in the gold area. But it's tough, okay? You're going to try and whack your keyboard and hit a bunch of abilities, and you're gonna overheat sometimes. And when you overheat, that's the most vulnerable spot that Rumble's in, because you can't cast any abilities. You can't cast your harpoons to slow down the champions, either get away or catch up to them. You can't cast your shield to be able to sprint away or sprint towards them, a bunch of damage either. So it's very dangerous when you overheat with Rumble. You want to make sure if you're kind of at risk of overheating, you are far enough away that you can just walk away. Alright, so let's all in her now, which basically puts down this big line and damages anybody and slows them while they're in it. And we missed the all-in. You're just going to be spamming your abilities. We overheat, but I think this was a favorable one, and we got it. Okay? So, trading, laning with Rumble, it's all about understanding where there's favorable spots and spamming your abilities to the point where you're in that gold bar of heat, but you're not overheating. Alright? He has no mana, his cooldowns are relatively short, and 2 out of the 3 of his basic spells kind of slow down or speed him or the enemy champion up. So it's kind of like a big chess match in the lane with Rumble. So if you get good with him, you'll notice that you'll be able to snowball lanes really hard and really bully your opponents. But if you're not mastering these techniques, you're probably going to get bullied really hard. Let's talk about items here. Generally, I like to build into Leander's Torment first with him. It works well and matches up well with his kit. It gives us some health, it gives us some ability power, which is great. He's an ability power champion, and he's also a fighter, so he's going to stay in there and take some hits. So health and ability power is great. The other unique passives of Leander's Torment give him more damage for each second he's in combat, which is great, and it also burns enemies, which is another good trait. So we're going to build into this as a first item generally, okay? The boots that you want to build into with Rumble are going to be Sorcerer Shoes, probably 90% of the time, and then just kind of follow the standard and essential items, and that should treat you well as you're learning Rumble. You can see it's on a pretty short cooldown, 6 seconds, and now we'll try and all-in again. So let's talk about the the ultimate ability here, a little bit more detail on this all-in. So basically, he launches this huge line of rockets on the ground, and it burns the trail in the ground for 5 seconds. Any enemies caught in that trail have their movement speed slowed, and they take damage per second. So essentially, and again, Rumble's a tough champ. This is a tough ability to land. It shoots in a line, so you could completely miss, and your ultimate's going to be useless. But you want to try and either use it as an engage, where you're going to get them stuck, and then you're going to jump in on them with your other abilities, or at the last second if they're trying to run away to basically secure the kill. So because she's close to my turret here, I'm going to use it to try and maybe trap her. So we're going to cast it in a line behind her.